Hey, what's up, guys? Listen, what's up, my little tattletales? Let's talk about Joe and Sophie's divorce and why Joe is trash. Y'all, Joe Jonas was planning this the whole time. What proof do we have? Well, he used the age-old thing that every person that's trying to get the one up on their spouse does. You wait until they're overseas filming. You go out your way to say, oh my God, I've had them continuously for 3 months. But more importantly, you start shopping around your divorce to other divorce lawyers. Now, what does that do? If anybody has a high profile divorce, and even high profile, I mean, if there's a lot of money and assets in stake, this is what you do. You go to all the big divorce lawyers in your town and you consult with the divorce lawyers. Hey, I'm thinking about divorcing my husband, my wife, out of this, that, and a third. Now, what does that do? If your spouse then tries to go to those same lawyers, they cannot represent them because they have a conflict of interest, because you've already told them inside information that would not be fair for them to represent the other party. But even if your spouse said, I don't care if you talk to them, I still want you to represent you. I still want you to represent me. They then have to go and get your permission to work with your spouse. Y'all, this is literally dirty divorce tactics 101, and Joe Jonas did them. Let's also look into this. As everybody thought, he is being a jerk and going for full custody. He's also trying to paint Sophie as a wild party girl, where she was someone that had 2 kids in under 3 years. She's been doing nothing but being a housewife. And the first time she's like, okay, I need to get back to work to be more independent. Now you want to sit there? I know a lot of y'all in the comments talking about Jonas would never. You need to release this image that you have from the Jonas brothers of who Joe Jonas is, and listen to Demi Lovato, listen to Taylor Swift, listen to almost every girl that's dating them. Matter of fact, you could just listen to Sophie. Okay, let's get into this. Also, it's so low and vulgar that he released this on TMZ because he wanted to sway public opinion on why she's just such an evil woman. But the public turned against him like, what are you talking about? He has. Some of y'all were like, oh, please, it doesn't mean anything. They're not wearing their wedding rings. And I'm like, okay, but they sold their house. Oh, please, it doesn't mean anything. They sold their house. Okay, idiots. The TMZ, oh, please, this is all speculation. Were you happy? Now we know for a fact Joe Jonas has officially filed for divorce from Sophie Turner. Everybody that didn't see this coming, I just have to say, check in with your loved ones in your relationships, because it seems like some people might have trouble. How do you call it? Oh, yeah, reading the room. Anyway, let's get into this. They said Joe and Sophie are headed for a divorce court because TMZ has learned, probably directly from Joe, that Joe has filed legal docs to end his marriage. Joe is asking for joint custody of their 2 daughters, Willa and their 1-year-old. Okay, now, if you guys ever watched the Jonas Family Matters, and I know some of you are like, I watched it. She was a great mom. No, it's all in the eye of the beholder. They literally treated Danielle so bad. They fed into her insecurity. They made her feel like she was lacking. And if you thought that treatment was well, yeah, I'm going to pray for you. They said sources with direct knowledge, and this is probably Joe's PR people. You know what, though? Maybe that's why they say never marry a short king. He seems like he has Napoleon complex, but I don't know. They said Joe and Sophie have a prenup. This is according to Joe, something Joe also addresses in his divorce docs. There's more in here as it pertains to their kids, including the fact that Joe wants a judge to establish a parenting plan between him and Sophie. Now, this is the weird part. That allows for frequent and continuing contact with both parties. So basically, Joe has been accused of being a covert narc by plenty of people he's dated, right? Or they've alluded to it. It seems like Sophie wants to cut things off with him, which is what they tell you to do if you're dealing with a narcissistic partner or somebody that has narcissistic traits. They say that You need to go cold turkey. It's odd that he is demanding frequent and continuing contact with both parties. Why, when you can just talk to the nanny? Why do you need frequent contact with Sophie? Now, you can say, oh my God, that's the mother of his children, but plenty of people have done this. And if Joe's personality that has been portrayed by the people he's dated can be true, yeah, it's another red flag. Here's another interesting tidbit in his petition. Joe confirms what we've known since this weekend, namely, God, he says trash. I'm sorry, I literally gasped. Namely, that the two children have been residing with him as of late. They're saying in the docs, though, he makes sure to note as well as Miami and other locations throughout the United States. In other words, he's been taking them with him on the road as he's toured. Now, this might sound bad, but Sophie has genuinely been in the UK filming. On top of that, she's been fighting Joe to get the kids in the UK so they can maybe establish UK residency. That's why he's taking the kids with them on the road. Because prior to her working, Sophie had the kids all the time. Now get this, the issue of child support is also addressed in Joe's docs. He doesn't want to pay child support. He's saying both parents can pay to support their children and that they should both be required to do so. Oh my God, he's going for child support. With that said, Joe wants a Florida court to establish what's fair and to take health insurance for the kids into consideration in determining that. Wow. TMZ broke the story partly because Joe Jonas's people actually spread the story to them, that the couple have been having problems for around 6 months. Isn't it interesting that as soon as she decided she wanted to work and make her own money, now they're having issues? Joe's been shopping for divorce lawyers for at least a week. He filed in Florida. He's repped by Tom Sasser, who handled Tiger Woods' divorce. So let me get this straight. You have so much money you want to protect, but you also want her on the hook to pay child support? This guy is trash. And you don't want her to have custody of the kids? Get this. As for why Joe filed for divorce, a source with direct knowledge tells us she likes to party, he likes to stay at home. They have different lifestyles. Riddle me this. When's the last time you've seen Sophie Turner partying? I'm being serious. Because Joe Jonas is the partier. Joe Jonas is the one struggling to stay sober. Anyway, they said, as he reported, Joe's been taking care of the children. That's because she's on location and he didn't want them in UK pretty much all the time over the past 3 months. When it comes to time to hash out a custody arrangement, he could ask for significantly more than 50% physical custody. And our sources say that's likely. You guys, again, I will say one thing. Joe, Sophie was liking, I came to my attention, so many anti-Meghan Markle tweets. And I just find it interesting that Meghan Markle fled the UK because Harry's family wouldn't accept her and treated her bad. And now she's fled the US and is about to go through a very costly and messy divorce because Joe and his family has rallied around you and made you persona non grata. Baby, I'm just saying, guess she won't be liking any other tweets because it's about to be a lot of tweets about her. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to keep my eye on this because this is about to get messy, but we're going to be here. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.